Welcome to Back Bike. Beat the 2025 Kawasaki Versys-X 300 standing tall, the light bouncing off its sharp edges and spoked wheels. This bike is Kawasaki's answer to the question a lot of riders ask themselves when they're hunting for something affordable, approachable, and genuinely capable of light adventure while still serving perfectly as a daily commuter. What we have here is a lightweight adventure tourer that manages to mix versatility, comfort, and an engaging riding experience into a package that doesn't scare new riders and still keeps experienced ones entertained. It carries the badge of the Versys family but scales things down to a friendlier size and a friendlier price point. The result is a motorcycle that feels like a passport to weekend freedom without demanding a garage full of tools or a wallet full of cash. The beating heart of the bike is a 296 cubic centimeters parallel twin that's liquid-cooled, for stroke, and designed with usability in mind. It produces about 40 horsepower and just over 25 Newton-meters of torque, not numbers that sound earth-shattering but ones that make perfect sense when you realize what this bike is meant to do. The twin-cylinder layout means smooth power delivery and fewer vibrations than a single, and Kawasaki tuned it for mid-range torque so you don't have to be revving it into the sky every time you climb a hill or tackle a fire road. The engine is borrowed from the Ninja 300, but the Versys-X makes it feel more flexible, less frantic, and better suited to long days in the saddle. It's eager enough to cruise at highway speeds and calm enough to plod through traffic without complaining. Pair that with a 6-speed gearbox and a slipper clutch, and you get a package that's both forgiving for beginners and rewarding for riders who know how to dance on the shift lever. The slipper clutch keeps downshifts smooth and lever effort light, something you'll notice when you spend a full day on winding roads. The frame is a steel backbone design, strong and simple, giving the bike a sense of durability while keeping costs reasonable. Up front you've got a 41mm telescopic fork and in the rear a uni-track monoshock with preload adjustment, so whether you're riding solo, loaded with luggage, or carrying a passenger, you can tweak the rear to keep things balanced. Suspension travel is long enough to soak up potholes and washboard roads without being wallowy on smooth asphalt. It's a compromise, but one that leans toward comfort, which is exactly what you want on an adventure-styled bike at this size. Braking is handled by a 290mm disc at the front and a 220mm disc at the back, both managed by ABS as standard in most markets. That's reassurance when you hit wet patches or gravelly descents, and it's a welcome safety net for less experienced riders too. The wheels are where the Versys-X 300 starts to show its true intentions. A 19-inch front wheel paired with a 17-inch rear, both spoked, mean the bike is ready for more than just tarmac. It's not a dirt bike, but with those dimensions you can throw on dual sport tires and feel confident tackling rougher paths. Kawasaki added a tall windshield to protect you on the highway, and the bodywork is sculpted with adventure styling, a little rugged, a little purposeful, without feeling over the top. The ergonomics are upright, the bars wide, the seat positioned to keep you comfortable, and Kawasaki's ErgoFit system allows adjustments so the bike feels right whether you're short, tall, or somewhere in between. The standard seat height is around 815mm, about 32 inches, which will be manageable for most riders, though shorter riders may need to tiptoe at stops. The seat itself is broad and supportive enough for longer rides, and the rear rack comes ready to accept luggage, making weekend trips or daily commutes a lot easier. At about 386 pounds wet, the Versys-X 300 is light enough to flick around city streets, yet planted enough when cruising at 70 miles per hour with luggage strapped to the back. It's not intimidating to push around a parking lot, and once moving, it has the kind of nimbleness that makes tight traffic, twisty mountain passes, or narrow gravel tracks enjoyable rather than stressful. It isn't a highway dominator, and that's important to stress. This is not a machine designed for endless days at 85 miles an hour. Riders who want to cross continents at those speeds will want more displacement. But within its envelope, the bike feels willing, smooth, and fun. The styling follows Kawasaki's adventure playbook. Angular lines, a tall stance, purposeful bodywork, and enough presence to make it look like a proper mini adventure tourer. You get a small windscreen, fairing panels that direct airflow, and a functional rather than flashy instrument cluster that gives you the basics clearly. This isn't about TFT screens or smartphone connectivity, it's about keeping costs down and reliability high. The Versys-X 300 isn't pretending to be a luxury touring rig. It's meant to be approachable, durable, and ready for modifications if you want to add hard panniers, auxiliary lights, or handguards. Performance-wise, think versatility rather than raw speed. It accelerates briskly enough to keep you ahead of traffic, it maintains highway cruising without stress, and when the pavement ends it doesn't instantly throw its hands up in protest. That dual sport character is the unique appeal. Most small bikes are either naked commuters or fared sport styles, but the Versys-X 300 opens the door to light adventure riding at a price point many riders can afford. And when it comes to that price, Kawasaki has kept it competitive. In the United States, the MSRP sits around $5,699, with some dealers offering it closer to $5,599. In Canada, by the time you add fees and taxes, you're looking at roughly $7,700 Canadian dollars out the door. In India, the X showroom price is about 3.8 lakh rupees, a premium compared to some rivals but still justified when you factor in Kawasaki build quality and the parallel twin advantage. Those numbers matter because they put the bike squarely into the reach of newer riders or those on tighter budgets. Compare it to larger adventure bikes, and you'll find the Versys-X 300 costs half as much while giving you a taste of that same freedom. Unique selling points here are its smooth parallel twin rather than a buzzy single, its lightweight adventure chassis, its approachable seat height and adjustable ergonomics, and its balance of highway comfort with off-road readiness. The assist and slipper clutch is another highlight that makes it friendly for stop-and-go traffic and reduces fatigue on long rides. Of course, no bike is perfect. The limitations of a 300 cubic centimeters machine are real. Riders who spend all their time on interstates at high speed will quickly wish for more displacement. Sustained 80-mile-per-hour riding pushes the engine into high revs, and while the bike can do it, the vibrations and noise might wear on you. That's why this machine shines brightest when you're mixing city commuting, weekend twisties, and occasional gravel adventures. It's the kind of motorcycle that says yes to exploration without requiring you to wrestle with 500 pounds of machinery. It makes motorcycling feel accessible, welcoming, and fun. In real-world use, that's what stands out. The Versys-X 300 is not just a budget bike, it's a smart bike. It delivers genuine adventure bike looks and capabilities at a scale and cost that works for riders who don't want to overcommit. It's forgiving enough for beginners, practical enough for commuters, and adventurous enough for those who like to leave the pavement behind once in a while. For around $5,500, you get a bike that can commute Monday to Friday, carve mountain roads on Saturday, and carry camping gear into the woods on Sunday. It's simple, rugged, and exactly what many riders actually need rather than what marketing sometimes convinces us to buy. The 2025 Kawasaki Versys-X 300 is a reminder that motorcycles don't have to be huge or expensive to be liberating. It doesn't claim to be the fastest, it doesn't claim to be the most luxurious, but it delivers joy in a straightforward way. With its smooth twin engine, practical suspension, spoked wheels, upright comfort, and accessible price, it's a bike that makes adventure possible for more people. That might be its most important feature. Motorcycling is about freedom, and this bike keeps that freedom within reach. For BikeBeat, that's the real story of the Versys-X 300.